The Texans are at training camp in West Virginia. Their first practice was today. And I do not think there has been an update on this, but the guy that they spent the most money on this offseason on their offensive line, Cam Robinson, who they spent north of $10 million for a one-year deal for the former Viking and former Jaguar to play left tackle, he left gimpy after his first play with the team. So the Texans made some shuffling on the offensive line. They moved Titus Howard, who was at right guard, to right tackle, which is where rookie Ariante Ursery had been. Ursery got moved from right tackle to left tackle, and Juice Scruggs, who not too long ago was practicing with the third-team unit, is, at least today, the starting right guard. Some of this, I imagine, was done because of Cam Robinson. I don't know that this is necessarily a reflection of the starting offensive line going forward, but for at least that moment right there, that's what they thought. And the interesting one, last year's second-round pick, Blake Fisher, did not rise the ranks. So once again, to the people who are weirdly on this, Blake Fisher is going to be fine island, of which there are enough that I got in a stupid argument with one for about like an hour a couple of days ago. He's not looking good.
No, because it definitely is easier just to put, even if you want to move Ursery to left and then Blake Fisher at right, that's involves a lot less steps than bringing in Juice Scruggs, who, like you said, isn't exactly someone who's tearing up camp on his own either, which I guess none of these guys are
offensive linemen
tearing
really
up camp, but
yes.
But
Ursery, the fact that he's a starter is a great sign for him, and Ursery's a natural left tackle, so they're moving him back over to left. Blake Fisher's supposedly naturally a left tackle. Supposedly. I don't know what he naturally is. I remember a lot of people last season were like, he came in on strong at the end of the year. I didn't think that.
He played at the end of the year.
He did play, but I don't know that that's necessarily a reflection of him being a good player. He was just out there. And all of last year. So getting some more vibes of this, because when this line change happened, Sean, the defense, again, killed the offense. It killed. This is apparently the most one-sided it's been for the people that have been there. God. I was not there today, but it's been pretty one-sided the few practices I've gone to. And some have said that the practices I haven't been to, it's been even worse.
It reminds me of last year where we would talk to DJ and you were there too. And every week during training camp, DJ was there, just be like, Another great day for the defense, bad day for the offense.
And Stroud said this on Saturday when I was there after practice. And Stroud is not – I don't want to read too much into how a guy composes himself at the podium or how he is out on the practice field, but Stroud seemed annoyed. He seemed annoyed on Saturday. That was the sense that I got. I don't blame him, because this is certainly a work in progress. And he was asked about the offensive line, and he said, the defense we're going up against is great. This is the best defensive line in the league. At a certain point, it can't be just that.
Yeah.
I think that's as far as he's going to go when it comes to throwing that unit under the bus. But to me, I heard that, and I was like, okay, he's not thrilled with the progress to this point. There's still plenty of camp left, but preseason game number 1 is Saturday.
Yeah, and this is a rare thing. Maybe not actually the preseason game, but at least the joint practices that they get kicking off pretty soon.
Yep.
I think.
I forget.
Is it leading up to this game, or is it leading up to the next one? Okay.
I think there's some joint practices with the Vikings. I think,
who are basically the Texans.
But I know definitely there's joint practices with the Lions, and there's definitely joint practice with the Panthers. And now that I think about it, I think confusing NFC North teams, and it might not be joint practices against the Vikings.
Yeah, I think they play the Vikings in the preseason.
I do know they play them on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's the Lions. Yeah, I was getting my NFC North teams confused. Yeah. They joint practices are against the Lions and then against the Panthers here.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that, okay, if the line of thinking is that the Texans defense is so good that that's why they look bad every single day of practice, eventually you're gonna see them against other teams, and they'll have to be better against the other teams. Like if they look decent against the Lions and whoever else they're scrimmaging it against in the games, even though the games, just because of how preseason games go. I'm not going to put as much weight into that because the defenses, they don't get exotic. It's very, very vanilla. I need to hear some reports of like, wow, you know who's really turned heads is so and so on the offensive line.
I want that. I'm not holding my breath.
Neither am I.
I don't think anyone should.
You would see flashes of it if it's in there, even against the best defensive line in the
Exactly.
NFL. Like it wouldn't be this bad as consistently.
And like I get that some of the aggregators are actually out there and they are boboing up a storm and everything is sunshine and rainbows. I'm just telling you, it's in the same spot as it was last year. The good news is it's August and there's a lot of time left until, first off, just the kickoff. I mean, we're officially a month from kickoff. On top of that, we've also got a long season ahead where the offensive line can theoretically get better. But hopefully they don't get hurt because that could throw more complications in there. And if Cam Robinson's hurt, I mean, we'll see what the update is. But if Cam Robinson's hurt, certainly a little bit concerning. A couple other tidbits just to show the defense's mastery over the offense. Will Anderson almost killed Stroud, and D'Amico yelled at him. C.J. Gardner-Johnson had a pick 6. He's been having a lot of interceptions. Azeez Al-Shaair had an interception of Stroud in the end zone. E.J. Speed had a pick. Yeah, and the defense supposedly could have had more interceptions today. So blame that on the offensive line. Blame that on C.J. Stroud. All that said, D'Amico Ryans thinks that the Texans' offense is improving. Here he is after practice today.
In the same vein as I said for the defense, our offense is getting better. That's training camp. I talk about it all the time. I'm not just throwing out a term, but when I talk about iron sharpening iron, if everybody brings their best every single day, we will all get better. We're still one team. We're going to go out and compete against another team. We are making each other better here. Our offense is making our defense better. Defense is making our offense better. And that's what training camp is all about. So I'm very, excited to see where our guys are. And really, I'm excited to see them go play against someone else. It's becoming that time of camp where it starts to get a little chippy. Guys are tired of going against each other. So I'll be excited, when the end of the week comes and we're able to go against Minnesota.
Training camp cliche, you hear that all the time. Oh, you're getting tired of hitting one another. You hear that all the time.
Yeah, this is around the time you start getting them, too. It's like,
right, exactly.
Good to hit someone else for a change.
It happens usually after there's a fight at practice. But no, this they were asked about the offense, and D'Amico, he's going back to something that we dealt with a lot of last year, which is positivity that feels like gaslighting. I get he's the coach and he's not going to throw the guys under the bus, but just based off of what I've seen and what everyone else has seen, a little bit different. The messaging versus the reality. More from D'Amico Ryans. He talked about some of the changes on the offensive line, and here he is doing what we like to call, in the words of Detective Dignam from The Departed, feeding the media bleep and keeping them in the dock when it comes to injury updates, because Cam Robinson getting hurt led to some shakeups on the offensive line today.
As you see with our offensive line, you'll see different guys in different spots. You've seen that from OTAs. You've seen that throughout training camp. No different, no extra news to report or anything about it. Today is just our guys are moving around just like they've done kind of all camp.
Well, there was moving around after a guy got campaign. That's all. That's all to make up. Anyway, you want to jump in, 713-780-3776 to call to text. YouTube at ESPN Houston. Twitch at ESPN 975. Texans offense. You concerned with what you're hearing about? Tony the Handsome comments, CJ's running for his life again. Mustang Boy 7, another rookie coordinator with Nick Caley. It's over. Here we go again. D's 1560 says steel sharpens these. Well, iron sharpens iron. I have a shirt on right now that the Texans gave out. It's nice start. They're going back to starter brand, which is kind of cool. But it's even got like a stitched on starter logo here.
Oh wow!
But it says iron sharpens iron. I'm just saying, like the offense is not sharp. The defense is very sharp.
No.
The defense might be getting dulled by the dull nature of the offense. That's all I'm saying right now. It's early. There's a lot of time left. But, I mean, if iron sharpens iron, the offense is pretty dull.
Yeah. Knife sharpens butter. Yeah. That's what it is. That's
yeah. So, a lot of time left. Some other observations. This from Saturday when I was out there. Couple of interesting notes. Dalton Schultz has been looking really good. I am very curious as to what he will be this year. D'Amico Ryans made a passing comment when asked about Dalton. and said he looks like he basically that's the old Dalton Schultz. So perhaps he believes he can get to a level that he couldn't get to last year. Schultz, you should watch his full interaction with the media. I was entertained. He said at one point, like, I've always been trying to get past the bleeping division round. And he was asked if he was hurt last season. He said, everyone's hurt. But it seemed like he was implying that he was dealing with a little bit of something. But Schultz has been making some really nice catches. And remember, he had a couple of drops down the stretch that were pretty tough. So the tight end room, a perhaps small positive in the offense to this point. The rookie class, they've all been out there and they've all done stuff. So that's also nice to think about. Higgins is a huge body. Jalen Noel is pretty damn quick. Woody Marks, the running back, has been making a couple of plays. Jalen Smith, the corner out of USC, who they drafted in the 4th round and everyone thought was a reach, has probably been, of all the rookies, like the most surprising in that he's looked really good. And Ariante Ursary already out there. So they're getting immediate contributions from this draft class. And you know, you want to give Nick Caserio his flowers again. They are merited at this moment in time.